Warriors defeat the Rockets 104-93, Game 3 of this first round series. I walked away thinking, this was one of the more impressive wins, playoff wins for Steph Curry, considering Jimmy Butler was down. Klay Thompson isn't on the team any longer. Andrew Wiggins isn't even on the team any longer. Really all he has is Draymond Green, and you don't have any other proven scorers on the roster. And it was a very, very slow start. I mean, the Warriors only scored 18 points in the first quarter. And you're going to tell me they win the game. Listen to this. They win when Draymond Green only had 7 points. Jonathan Kuminga started. He only had 7 points. Quentin Post started. He had 2 points. But Curry, 36 points. Played 41 minutes, 12 of 23 from the field, 5 of 13. He's been very efficient from 3 in this series. 5 of 13 from 3, 7 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 turnovers. They only had a total of 10 turnovers. That was huge in this one. 10 turnovers. Rockets had 14. 10 turnovers total, but it was 2 players off the bench. Buddy Hield, 5 of 11 from 3. He's been under tons of criticism, and rightfully so. He finally stepped up, and they needed him. He scored 17 off the bench, and then Gary Payton, 16 points. And then also Moses Moody, he only had 7 points. So you needed the contributions of Hield and Payton. Quentin Post, he only had 2 points, but this is a huge number for him. 12 rebounds. It was the best I've seen him rebounding. He stepped up. I mean, the defense really tightened up. I mean, the defense was really good throughout. It was a question of, would they get enough offense, because Curry was getting doubled. He was getting blitzed throughout the first half. And then the Warriors were able to make some adjustments. I mean, Pajensky, there's another one. 10 points, but just having a second ball handler in addition to Curry from at least the point guard position, they needed him. Draymond, 8 rebounds, only 4 assists, only 7 points. He did have 5 turnovers, but he had 2 steals and 3 blocks, and those were timely blocks. Not all blocks are the same, and watching Curry, not all 3-pointers are equal. Looney only had 2 points, but he had 5 rebounds. This was a team win. It wasn't pretty, but there got to a certain point in the fourth quarter when they went up enough, and you said, the Rockets simply don't have enough to come back. And what we saw in this one was the Rockets did not have enough offense, and their youth showed. Looking over at the Rockets, no one had a particularly strong game. I mean, Dylan Brooks fouling out, that helped. He was 4 of 8 from the field, 3 of 4 from 3, 6 rebounds, only 28 minutes. Van Fleet got off to a quick start, but then he cooled off. He was 5 of 14, 3 of 9 from 3. He had the game-high 17 points for the Rockets. Şengün, 15 points, 11 rebounds, but he was 7 of 18 from the field. And there's ways you can expose him defensively. And the Warriors, in this one, I think, started to. And he just missed a lot of close baskets. He couldn't finish easy, close attempts right at the basket. He struggled. Jalen Green, it was a matter of making adjustments. He had one hot game, and game two, in my opinion, was the outlier of the series for him. He was struggling coming into the playoffs. He struggled mightily in game one. Now he struggled mightily in game three. 4 of 11, 1 of 5 from three. Who I thought the Rockets should have gone back to more was actually Jabari Smith. I mean, when he was shooting, the Warriors didn't really have anyone who could guard him. I mean, he's 6'10". I mean, he's almost 7 feet, and he's good from three. He was 3 of 5 from three. He had 12 points, and the Warriors don't have anyone that could match up with him. And then they were able to get Steven Adams off the court as he's so low. He's one of the strongest players, physically biggest, strongest players in the NBA. And then Thompson, 5 of 16. He was inefficient, only 11 points. It was just interesting with the starting lineup. Once you heard Jimmy Butler wasn't playing, I was thinking, well, it's not impossible for them to win. They're going to need a lot of things to go right. And then hearing that Kuminga's going to start and Post is going to start. Because Kuminga, he had a couple of nice baskets and early, but then he struggled. He's really struggled. And again, Gary Payton and Buddy Hield were the guys that really stepped up in this one. The Warriors played better defense. They protected the basketball. And Curry was, amazing in the second half. They're even able to give him a little bit of a breather in the fourth quarter because the Rockets did not have anyone that stepped up for them. And the fact that the Warriors were really able to, once they were able to keep it close, they outscored the Rockets 28-27, and they kept it very close at the half, and they only outscored the Rockets 23-22 in the third quarter, but then the fourth quarter was close to domination. It was 35-22 Warriors. Trayce Jackson-Davis did not see any time. I was wondering if Pat Spencer was going to play at all. So getting this and protecting your home court and doing it without Jimmy Butler was, I can't overstate how huge that is in this series, that you're able to win and give Butler another day off, really 2 days off, today and tomorrow, before you prepare for game 4. And you can even beat them without Butler, and you can win in Houston. Not that Houston's really that hard of a place to play and get a win in. But what a victory. And the Thunder and the Grizzlies, once John Morant went out, I mean, maybe the Thunder would have won in 5 games anyway. I don't know. But the Clippers and Nuggets, man, that's probably going to go 7. There's a great chance that one goes 7 games. It's been so close. You've had overtime game. Game 3 wasn't close, but considering game 1 went overtime, game 2 was very close, and then game 4 goes right to the end. Game 3 or game 4 will tell you a lot about Lakers and Timberwolves. For me, the Lakers just don't have enough defense. Can the Lakers match up with the size of the Timberwolves? And then who's going to defend Anthony Edwards? LeBron's not. No way Luka is. There really isn't anyone on the Lakers roster. I like the Wolves to win the series, just don't know how long it's going to go. There's just more matchups that favor the Wolves than the Lakers, but of course the NBA wants this to go a long series, and they ultimately want the Lakers to win. Celtics and Magic, Jason Tatum appears to be okay, but the Magic have some fight in them. Cleveland is going to advance. I mean, with the Heat do not have enough to beat the Cavaliers, and I keep hoping that we're going to see Cavaliers and Celtics. Knicks and Pistons, very competitive series. So we'll see what happens the rest of the way. I mean, I don't think between the Bucks and the Pacers, neither of those teams are going to do any damage. I mean, whoever advances. That's fine. But they'll get knocked out. The Warriors, if they take care of their business against the Rockets, it's going to be most likely the Wolves. I think the Warriors would want the Lakers because, Anthony Edwards and then also the size of the Wolves would give the Warriors and present the Warriors with quite a few problems. But we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves here. This was a great victory, and it was a tough loss for the Rockets. And, they just don't really have... I mean, Sengun is very good, but they don't really have a go-to guy at the end of the game. That's not Jalen Green. He was for one day. That's it. There was very little to complain about the officiating. There was really nothing to nitpick Steve Kerr about. It was a very well-coached game. I mean, Curry really has put himself in a category with the greatest players of all time. I mean, how is he not a top 10 player of all time? I mean, I put him ahead of Larry Bird, I put him ahead of Shaq, I put him ahead of Kobe Bryant. It's just a very, very few select players that are ahead of him. I mean, regardless of however far they go in this postseason, when you're looking and considering his career, the longevity, the regular season success, the finals, and the regular season MVPs, the unanimous MVP, the all-time single season wins record, the finals appearances, winning 4, going to 6, the finals MVP. The statistics don't even show him justice. How he's changed the game from this point on. Just face it. Enjoy this, Warriors, because he's the best player in your franchise's history. He's a top 10, almost top 5 player, of all time. And it's the skill. How he's doing it. And you compare him to almost everyone else in history, and he's the best player at his size. 6'2", 6'3". We're not talking about a 7-footer. We're not talking about 7-foot giants that dominate. We're not talking about Kareem or Wilt or Shaq. We're not talking about LeBron and his physical gifts, or Michael Jordan, his ability as a great competitor, but also a tremendous athlete. I'm not taking away from Curry. He is a great athlete. He is very well conditioned. But we're saying undersized, small, but it's his skill level and how maybe he's lost a little, but he's maintained. He's been so close to maintaining the quality of his play into his late 30s. As you know, his career got off to a bit of a slow start with the injuries. But you look from, 2014 to 15, and you're in 24, 25. I mean, it's been some 10-year plus run, 10, 11-year run for him being the leader of this team. They've been a dynasty. They have made history. They have been the best team of this decade or so. And they're in the conversation with the all-time greats. They have their place with the all-time great franchises, the all-time great teams. I mean, 60s, it's the Celtics. Then it was the 80s Lakers. You also had the 80s Celtics, the 90s Bulls, the Lakers, and the Spurs of the 2000s, and then the Warriors. Yeah, who would have thought? The Warriors. So next game's Monday. What I would figure is the Warriors will do everything they can not to push Butler back. What you want to see is to go up 3-1, heading back to Houston, and if you need to have him and he's ready for Houston, okay. I'd be very surprised if they try to push him to get back. I mean, as much as you want to go up 3-1, even going down 2-2, or evening up the series 2-2 isn't the worst thing for the Warriors. But they're not afraid of the Rockets. They know they can beat the Rockets. And now the Rockets are down 2-1. And whether or not Butler plays, the Warriors are feeling extremely confident. And they figured some things out. I mean, the reason Green had such a big game, that being Jalen Green had such a big game in Game 2, is because the Warriors had to make the adjustments on the fly. Who is going to be the man for the Rockets? Şengün makes the most sense. Yes, he didn't have a particularly good game. He didn't. For his standard, he had a down game, an off night. But across the board for the Rockets, just not enough scoring. And even with the win in Game 2, I was saying to myself, I'm not impressed by the Rockets. I'm not. I mean, they could certainly come in and win Game 4, and then that could change things. It could. But even if it's a 2-2, I think the Warriors are feeling good, even going back to Houston, because I would think at that time a potential Game 5, well, it's going to happen no matter what. There will be a Game 5. In Houston, you're giving Butler a full week off. I don't know how much Kuminga's going to play in the series. I can't imagine he's going to start, or if he is going to start, it's going to be a very short leash. I mean, he did start, but it was only 17 minutes. Buddy Hield played 29. I'd have to think Moses Moody would get the start in the next game, and then Kuminga will see a very limited role in Game 4. I see long series, with the exception of a few series here. Celtics, Cavs, Thunder, these other 3 series, long series. But the Warriors could win out. It's possible they win out. But I'll say, I think at this point, they'll win at 6. They'll win in 6. The Timberwolves win tomorrow and go up 3-1. I don't see it going more than 6. I mean, it could be 5. But probably 6. And then the Clippers and Nuggets. I mean, that's an amazing series. I mean, what else can you say about Jokic? You have all-time great players in this series. You got Jokic. You got, as much as I don't personally care for James Harden, he's a Hall of Fame player. He is a great player. And Kawhi is already a Hall of Famer. I mean, all those 3, if they retired right now, are locks. Absolute locks for the Hall of Fame. All-time great players in this era. Jokic is a top 10 center. Harden, some people call him a shooting guard. I consider him a point guard, and I would put him in my top 10. And Kawhi, small forward, the top 10. All in that series. Can Jokic get enough help in that series? That's always the question. You know, he's going to be great. But will the guys around him do enough? But a great team victory for the Warriors. Great adjustments. And the 3 guys I have to applaud, in addition to Curry, Quentin Post with his 12 rebounds. Although he only had 2 points, 12 rebounds. Buddy Hield 17 points off the bench, and Gary Payton's 16 points, off the bench. And big points in the 4th quarter, too. Like you said, not all 3-pointers are the same. They're not equal. And not all points are equal. Yeah, you need all the points to add up in the game, but 4th quarter points and someone other than Curry to make a few baskets, and that's what Gary Payton did. And it didn't have to be a stressful game. It did not have to be a nail-biter at the end. I mean, they didn't run away with it, but they had a little margin for error.